Unlock, the podcast where we not just learn how to love, but how to love wisely, deeply, and with purpose. My name is Kari Suche, and today we are exploring powerful truth from Smart Love by Nassim Vampel, a truth many of us were never taught growing up. Your ability to love others is directly connected to how you see yourself. Stay with me as we unlock the wisdom of improving your self-image. Before anyone can give healthy love, you must have a healthy view of yourself. Nassim Vampel explains that our self-image, the way we see, value, and talk to ourselves, shape every relationship we enter. You can learn to like yourself and win at love. Recognizing a lack of self-esteem in yourself or someone else is one thing. Struggling to overcome its crippling effect is another. If you have been condemning yourself because of past failures, embarrassment, and rejection, it is time to free yourself. The sooner you decide to make friends with yourself, the sooner you will be ready to build a healthy relationship with someone else. You can't give what you are not. If you had 40 years of thinking negatively about yourself and you wish to begin thinking positively, it will take a great deal of effort and energy. That's a two decade of negativity, of processing negativity. There are no easy solutions for long-term, deep-seated problems of inferiority. But if you wish to change those negative feelings about yourself, change is possible. Since the self-concept is learned from the past life experiences, it can be unlearned. You simply replace negative feelings about yourself with positive feelings. And I can assure you, the older you are and the longer you have lived with a negative evaluation, the more difficult it will be. But it can be done. There's no two ways about it. Once you set your mind to it, it can be done. You don't have to stay the way you are today. It's not something you learn overnight. It won't happen all at once. You can undo years of self-hate in one step. You can, however, begin to make small steps to free yourself of the past. If you're willing to make superficial changes in significant matter, then the change will be minimal. For example, rather than stocking the dishes all week, you can decide to wash them after each meal. Since little emotional energy is needed to make this change, just little, it is easy to accomplish. First and foremost, guys, you need a desire to change. If you don't desire a change, change cannot just fall from heaven on you. You have to take steps. You have to desire the change. You have to see that you have inferiority complex first, and you need to know that you have to work on yourself first, and then desire a change. That's the only way you can start taking steps. Because people with low self-esteem often they lack the ambition and drive to overcome previously ingrained tendencies. The truth is, you can't do it alone. That's why I'm bringing you practical steps today on how to go about it. You give your desires over to the Lord. But when you give your desires over to the Lord, He can accomplish the change in you. Success is possible through Him. It is highly 100/100 possible with Him. You must realize that when you decide to improve your self-concept, it will affect all your relationships and every aspect of your life. Your work, your spiritual life, how you parent your children, as well as the kind of romantic relationship you will build. Enormous change will take place in your personality and your life. Now let's combine your desire to change and Christ's power with some practical suggestions. And I hope you're ready to enjoy the benefits. We tend to respond and react to others on the basis of unresolved issues and conflicts from the past. Trust me, that trigger, that trauma, it's all from the past. The way you respond, the way you see life, the way you you understand the view of other people's opinion. It's from your past experiences. When we understand life, it's as a result of what you have been through, what you haven't healed from. Why you continue to wallow yourself with the same old hurts? Why don't you drop it at God's feet? Why don't you drop it? Why get stuck in a rut with a painful past? Forgiveness is key that sets you free. Forgiveness of self and others. Forgive to the point you will no longer allow what formerly happened to torment you. You have to let it go. The point where you know you are completely healed is when the things that were tormenting you, you don't respond to them no more. Because it's not all about the person, it's about you. You can't control the other person, but you can control the way you respond to the other person. You can control your attitude. You can control your composure. You can control the way you receive the other person's opinion. You can control it. Forgiveness simply says, I was deeply hurt by what happened, but I no longer resent you. I give all of my hurtful feelings, all of it to God. I can now accept and love you even when you cannot love and accept me. Even if you cannot love and accept me. Only when you redirect negative memories to positive ones are you really free to move forward and love yourself as well as others. You cannot do it when you haven't let go of the past. And guys, holding on to the past means you cannot progress with the future. You're holding on to the past and you are going on in cycle. It is the Bible that said that He will direct your path. So if you are holding on to the past, you can only be going in cycles. But if you hold on to God's forgiveness, hold on to His word, He is the one who will direct your path, and this path is futuristic. He is the one who lays the foundation to your future. So holding on to the past will not progress with the future. You will keep spinning in an endless cycle of self-deprivation. It will press you down, bind and defeat you so much. So letting go is actually a beginning. It is a start of a new life. It is a start of freedom. It is a start of forgiveness. It is a start of clarity. It is a start of loving yourself. It is a start of embracing God's love for you. We rarely take time for a balanced self-appraisal. Most of us focus on our weak areas, all the things we can't do, our limitation. Instead of focusing on what you can't do, you need to focus on the positive, what you can do. What you can do. Instead of focusing on what are my weaknesses, what are the things that I cannot do, what are the things I'm struggling with. We all focus on it, and that is you looking down. When you look down, you are depressed. When you look down, you cannot see far. You cannot see beyond where you're looking at. You cannot. But when you're up, when you're focused on positivity, that is when you look up. When you focus on your strengths, that's when you see improvement. When you focus on the things that you can do, like positivity, like for instance, your strength, your achievements, your appearance, your personality, talent and skills, character and spiritual abilities. In each category, list at least 3 strengths. Let's say under achievements, think of promotions, awards, or other personal successes. Go back in time if you need to. And then under appearance, list things like physically fit, attractive, clear skin, bright eyes, beautiful smile, your height, or something. Then under personality, include good sense of humor, calm nature, friendly, pleasant disposition. Then under talent, you can include skills. What natural gift and aptitude do you possess? Include music, artistic ability, can be cooking, organizing, and scholastic athletic abilities. Under character and spiritual abilities, you can put things like high standard, integrity, honesty, values, giving smiles to the people, standing at their entrance and giving a warm handshake to people and say, oh, welcome to church. That's a spiritual ability. You're putting smiles in people's face. Come on, as you contemplate your personal attributes in each category, remember that we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. I think somewhere Ephesians 2 verse 10. You're not boasting, but simply recognizing and praising God for the good works He has begun in your life, in you. The previous list I presented to you, it should help you to recognize that you have tremendous potential and many talents to work with. Review your thought pattern. A psychologist actually counted many women over the age of 30 who appear to have feelings of hopelessness regarding their marriageability. Most of them had reached the stage of, I guess I will never get married. Mind you, these women were bright, attractive, and successful women who had a lot to offer the right man. Yet they felt doomed to spend their lives alone. What a tragedy. Although these women were very different from one another, but they shared one thing in common: negative thinking and behavior that sabotaged their relationship. After an in-depth examination of thousands of men and women through videotapes, personalities profile, and individual interviews, it was clear. Even more important, the women who found someone, fell in love, and got married showed the exact opposite patterns of thinking and behavior. They followed success patterns from the beginning. The truth, rebuilding thought patterns and imagining yourself to be successful really work. Negative thoughts take hold, and they can be hard to change, because we actually look for proof for what we already think about ourselves. You look for proof in your life, you are seeing them. Imagine then changing your thought patterns, and then you're seeing the positivity, and imagine the change. So, like for instance, if you think people don't like you, you'll be looking for proof to justify the things that you are thinking of. A typical example of negative self-talk can be things like, I'm afraid to meet someone new, I'm not good looking, I'm not a good conversationist, I feel awkward when I'm out socially, or like what we hear these days, all the good men and women are taken, or something like, I never meet anyone interested. You yourself, are you interested? Or something like, I'm afraid to love because I might get hot. Who doesn't get hot? Why should you be afraid of getting hot? Or something like, all the relationship end in disaster. So let's tie this one down to the village people. Or like, my mother always said, no one will marry me. Is your mother God? The good news is, it is possible to get a new script. It is so possible to get a new script, and I'm so happy about this. It is possible. Negative thought patterns can be controlled. The first step is awareness of negative thoughts. Awareness of negative patterns. Then begin catching negative thoughts as they come into your mind and replace them with positive self-talk. Each of the previous negative statements can be rephrased positively, like, I have a friendly personality that attracts others to me. See, I am an attractive person who possesses many positive traits. I will smile at people and be friendly. I am a happy person who attracts happy people. who attract good people. I look forward to loving someone who will love me in return. Stop being scared of being hurt. Stop being afraid of hurt. God does not give you the spirit of fear, but of sound mind. Sound mind. Say things like, I look forward to meeting someone who will soon be interested in me. You're not a stone girl. You're not a stone guy. You are lovable. And there's someone out there for you who will love you, who understands that they have to heal first. They have to heal and then become who God wants them to be. And then they'll look for you and you will find a person. Say things like, I am looking forward to a great romance and I'm preparing for it by being positive. And another one like, I am preparing myself now for my great romance that will last a lifetime. Not divorce. Not divorce. Divorce has nothing on me. We will work it out. When I'm in for good. Say things like, I choose to ignore negative messages from the past and will focus on positive hope for the future. For the future, girl. The repetition is the key to changing negative thoughts, negative thinking patterns to positive ones. Stand on your mirror and speak these things to life. Speak them to your spirit, speak them to your soul, speak them to your mind, and you will see a resetting of your mind. And now these affirmations need to be repeated 20 to 30 times a day or more. I told you it is work. If you're ready, you desire a change, it is work. It is not easy. And you talking should be normal to every human being. You should talk. It's not possible, right? It is. It's possible. Repeat your affirmations aloud while looking into the mirror. Smile at yourself, girl. Smile at yourself, guy. Smile. Give a wink. Wink at yourself like this. Wink. Look at your mirror and wink. And then repeat the affirmations aloud. And according to this research or behavioral experts, it takes 21 to 45 days of repetition to change a habit. If you consistently work at rebuilding your thoughts pattern, you will feel better. You will feel better about you in 21 to 45 days. Oh God, you'll be flying on the sky. Don't expect miracles overnight. You have to put in the work. Be kind to yourself while waiting for the old attitude to disappear. Finish. Otila. Develop admirable qualities. By developing admirable skills, you can boost your self-esteem. If you are a poor conversationalist, I would advise you attend seminars. You need to meet people to converse with. Or just read a book about the art of conversation. Books help. Like this particular one I am reading to you now. If you're plain in appearance, mind you, if you don't see an issue with that, it's fine. Because the people who are plain in appearance, or you know that you can do more, you know that there is more, you know that you want to look in a certain way other than the way you're presently looking. Learn about postures, learn about postures and attractive hairstyles, like the one I'm carrying right now. Social graces and dresses for success, and then make some changes. You have to be deliberate about making a change. In other words, study and begin to practice what you have learned. Try out your new self. Don't think you're changing, you're doing all the work and then you're not practicalizing on a close cycle of friends. Gradually transferring your new acquired skills to your new contacts. You trust me, as you're working on yourself, as you are elevating yourself, you are leaving the old behind, and the new you are attracting the new. You are attracting who you are presently. Most charming people are not necessarily beautiful, but if you cannot make the grade as most popular, don't weep over it. Why are you weeping? Clean those tears. Instead, learn regret ball. Write short stories or attend a class in French cooking. Do your best to become interesting and well-rounded. there. That is your beauty. Never compare yourself with others. Comparison is a killer of joy. It's a killer of destiny. It just robs you off of who you truly are, of your personality, because you cannot be another person. You're not created to be another person. If you were created to be that person, you will be created as that person. You can walk your way through your own personality. You can walk your way through your own improved version. The biggest single cause of a poor self-concept is comparing yourself to others. You are created with value. You are created different. You're for a purpose. You're created uniquely you. This when you compare, you will always come out as the second best. The end result of such reasoning is that we believe we are not worthy of happiness and success. You are worthy of it all. The truth is, you are not inferior. You are not superior. You are simply you, unique to others and unique individual. Let Christ be the only standard you try to emulate, or you will just miss it. The only emulating factor should be Christ. Then you have to thank God for creating you just the way you are. You may feel you cannot thank God for creating you the way you are, when you will hate the way you are. You may think it makes you a hypocrite that you cannot thank God when you don't feel thankful. But you can. Giving thanks is an act of will. Feeling thankful is an emotion. A will is when, whether you like it or not, you will do it. An emotion is when you are propelled. Will is more powerful. An emotionally driven person, you're allowing emotions to override you, which is not supposed to. We are created to subject our emotions. You can give thanks even though you don't feel like it. Set your will in the right direction and your emotions will follow. And when you know that God accepts and loves you just the way you are, you don't have to feel as though you must change yourself. Your self-worth should not be programmed by others, but be rooted and grounded in the value God places on your life. The only things God dislikes are things that would destroy you. Please, if you don't get anything from this podcast, please get this. To those of you who feel God is wicked, God is unkind, why would you allow this to happen? Why would that day? The only thing God dislikes are things that would destroy you. He is interested only in helping you leave destructive attitude and behaviors behind you. You are accepted by Him, the King of the universe, the one who created everything that you see now. That there is nothing, absolutely nothing that is created that is not created by Him. God provides you with a fresh beginning if you are willing to obey His word. There is blessing in obedience. And that blessing comes in different ways. It comes in ways that will improve your life drastically. It will transform you like you will not understand. Is this me? Is this me? You'll be wondering, how did I become this person? How was I able to be this transformed? How was I able to be this kind of person who people can relate with now? You cannot relate with people. Your confidence is top notch. You can now speak boldly in places that you were not able to speak. You cannot take up on topics that you were not able to take up on, that you do not even have any vast understanding on. You can now take up on those topics. And not only does God count you acceptable, but He stands ready to work miracles in you, to change your worst failures and memories into successes, just as He did for Marjorie, which is another story for another day. Her story was a touching story of restoration, the restorative power of God. Marjorie's story will be shared on our next episode, so be in anticipation. A story of restoration, a story of healing, a story of revival. From all we have gathered and spoken in this episode, please take one step today towards loving yourself more intentional. Your relationship will shift, your confidence will grow, and your heart will heal. Thank you for joining today's episode of Love Unlock. Please, if this episode resonates with you, if it has blessed you one way or the other, if you've learned something, please share. Share it with someone working their own self-worth journey. It will help them a great deal and it will be a blessing. Thank you. As we continue this same topic next week, because Majore's story is included in our next episode and some other insightful talks. See you next week, and remember, before smart love begins with someone else, it begins with you. Thank you. Ciao.